These readings from the 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time really look to the new creation, if you will. As Jesus goes about his ministry, he's re-envisioning, if you will, recreating, extending, fulfilling that which had been begun in the Old Testament. So, if you think about all of the pieces of the Jewish tradition that mattered to them, and there's a variety of others, but we'll just start with, the most important city to the Jewish tradition. That's Jerusalem. So Jerusalem was all important. That's where God dwelt in the temple. That's where the king, from where the king reigned. It was the center of the nation of Israel. So the city is very important, and we read the prophecy from the prophet Isaiah, who speaks of the new Jerusalem that would come from God. And, how do we understand that? Well, it comes in stages, if you will. The church, in a sense, is the New Jerusalem. But ultimately, the New Jerusalem is the dwelling place of God in heaven. It's where we are trying to go, So the Old Testament prophecy foretells it. It begins to become a reality with the coming of the church, and its fullest reality will come to us when we reach heaven, a place where our destiny is, if you will. But another major thing within the nation of Israel, and especially liturgically, cultically, in terms of leadership, is the hierarchy. So you go all the way back to the time of Moses, and he has a great high priest, Aaron, and then take it down another step further. You've got Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu. Those are kind of his inner circle, and then beyond that, you've got the 12 tribes and 12 pillars of those tribes. 12 young men, and then even beyond that, you've got 70 elders. So, you've got the great high priest, the inner circle, the pillars of the 12 tribes, and the 70 elders. Well, what does Jesus do in his own ministry? He kind of has his own high priest, if you will, in Peter, who becomes the leader of the entire church. He has his own inner circle, Peter, James, and John, whom he takes up the mountain and reveals himself to them as he's transfigured before them. He as well has all of the 12 disciples that are representative of the New Jerusalem, the new Israel, if you will. And then beyond that, we hear the call of those 70 apostles who are sent out into the world to teach others about Jesus before he arrives on the scene. So, he has his own, parallel and fulfillment of the Old Testament hierarchy there. So, everything Jesus does is new, but it's also a fulfillment and an extension of what was the reality for the Old Testament Jewish tradition and the nation of Israel. So, we come to understand our faith better when we understand more of the Jewish faith, really. And they're not the same thing, but they're the same sort of categories. They're parallels, but also, a fulfillment of those things that took place in the old. So, on the one hand, that's all, just information. On the other hand, we begin to understand and see where Jesus is going with all this. We're dependent on our own leadership. We're also dependent on the hope we place in the New Jerusalem, as we place, our hope in heaven as the central point of our faith and everything we do. That's where we're going. That's where we're chasing after. That's where our whole lives should be directed, towards the New Jerusalem. And that should impact and align everything that we do with the whole of our lives, and allow God's dwelling place in the New Jerusalem to be a reality in our hearts, even here and now on earth. So let's set our sights on the New Jerusalem and really allow our destiny to be together with God forever. Inspire us in all of our actions, all of our words, all of our thoughts, everything we do. May it be inspired and led by our hope in eternal life.